How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. It had quite the pullback inside of the market. We also saw this with a lot of other EV stocks, and this is one of the reasons why I want to make sure I put this update video out for you guys. But one point that I want to make sure I'm being very clear about when it comes to my channel, I am not a pumper. I'm not going to tell you guys to go out there and buy stocks at the high. I'm not going to tell you that you should FOMO into any play whatsoever. And it's part of the reasons why I've talked about in my previous Lucid videos. I would not be a long-term investor buying this stock at $50 a share or when it was close to $60 a share. I was saying that you want to be patient, and here we are. So you know what? Let me just jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels so we have a strategy going into tomorrow. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what is the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $47.05, being down 10.47%. On the low, it tested $43, and then on the high, testing $49.67. When taking a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 130.536 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 119.431 million shares. So you could see we did have above average volume on the day. We also did have a choppy time inside of the market, and also Lucid has been continuing this natural pullback. And when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right at 63.93. So it's cooled off a little bit. And then when we take a look at our chart here at the moving averages, we have strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So as far as where we tested on the low at 43 bucks, you're going to want to see this hold up as an area of support going in tomorrow. And the reason being is because if we end up breaking through this level, then potentially we can end up visiting levels here around 41.83. And then of course, we're going to want to see some strength if we pull back even further right at the 21-day EMA at $40.33. So this is something to keep in mind. And I felt like if it broke through that area, you already know where this stock could potentially go. And now, as far as for the bullish case scenario here, on the high of the day, it was at $49.67. So one thing that is very clear, $50 now becomes an area of resistance for Lucid, and you're going to want to keep an eye on this going into tomorrow. If it's able to get past this $50 level or get past even $49.67, then of course I'm looking forward to seeing a move to $50 and then possibly being able to get here to around $52. So let's see if Lucid does decide to continue to consolidate. If it does decide to do that, staying above $40, that is definitely a good look and getting it ready for the next move up. So let's see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Lucid. As you can see, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 52.29%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 51 million shares. Scrolling down even further, you can see for the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 17 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.57%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 16th, it was at 40.37, and then for the close yesterday being as high as 52.29. So what this tells us right away, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential, but there also is a lot of negative market sentiment and shorts have increased their position. So this is going to contribute to the overall volatility inside of the play, and this is why I want to make sure you have a game plan before jumping in it. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 1,237 1,097, and then on the outflow, it was 1,326. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, it was 6.21. On the medium, it was 641, and then on the small, it was 590. When we take a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, wow, 19.64. On the medium, it was 674, and then on the small, it was 632. Keep in mind, this is in the millions. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, November the 18th, it being that negative outflow of 13.43 million. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, you can see on the small side, which tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the medium side, we had more selling than we had buying. And of course, when we take a look at the large, we had more selling than we had buying. And just to kind of put it in perspective, on the large, we had 19.64. And then on the inflow for the large, it was at 6.21. So that is quite the discrepancy there. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was around 7.98%. So again, this is up there, but at the same time, there are still many who are continuing to hold on to their shares. And we also do know there's a lot of traders that are going in and out of this play, playing on both sides. So taking everything into consideration, I want you guys to think about what's going on psychologically here. Lucid has been running up quite a bit. It ran up very quickly. And now a lot of people are seeing, hey, the stock is starting to pull back. Oh, it is selling. I'm going to start selling, or I'm going to start taking profits. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of this. So if you are in this play for the long term, be prepared for the volatility and handle it. So let's get into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid Group, there's a few things that I want to go over. First, we ended up seeing a strong pullback in the EV sector as a whole, and of course, Lucid was impacted by this. Secondly, it still continues to have short squeeze potential, but that also does come with a lot of negative market sentiment. So this is why it is very key that we have above average volume coming into the play, and there's a lot of buying pressure. What we got today was a lot of selling, and we saw a lot of it on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. So this volatility can continue going into Friday, and I just want to make sure that is something that you are aware of. But one thing that I am looking forward to seeing from Lucid is holding up the $40 level. I feel if we can consolidate at the $40 area or above, then it can get the stock ready for the next move up. Maybe if it's a catalyst that comes out and so forth. But if it ends up breaking through that $40 level, then you already know what the downside could possibly look like. As far as for long-term investors are concerned, I would still continue to be patient. Lucid has a lot to prove, and also we have to take into consideration of what's going on with the overall market. And you want to make sure whatever stock that you decide to have inside of your portfolio, you're getting in with a good position so you can minimize your downside risk. And this is part of the reasons why I am not a pumper channel whatsoever. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy a stock at high levels. Instead, I'm going to tell you to be patient, wait for the stock to find the base. Plus, on top of that, let the company show you that they deserve that valuation that they have been given. And as far as for my traders, you can make money on both sides. You can go ahead, buy some calls, you can buy some puts on how the stock is moving and what the direction is looking like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.